Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Justin Riley, and we have a great show for you today. We're going to be talking about a brand new restaurant that's opening downtown, plus a business that's been around on the west side of Madison for years that was recently relocated, and a unique way of getting in shape here in the Madison area. But first, I'm joined by Mary Miller, who is the president and CEO of Middleton Travel. Mary, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. So you have been in business now for 32 years.
That's right.
What has made you so successful? I mean, what has made Middleton Travel so successful for the last 32 years?
Yes, it'll be 32 years in October, and we're very proud of that. We were one of the very first women-owned travel agencies in all of Madison and Dane County. So with my partner Pam, we've just moved with the time, so to speak. And so as things changed in the industry, obviously they've changed a lot. When we first started, we didn't even have computers, and we used typewriters and phones. And so now, 32 years later, we've continued to change. I've been really lucky over the years. I've had a wonderful staff. Many of them have been with me between 20 and 30 years. So a lot of longevity, a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience. So we just kept changing. I'm a very hands-on owner, so I'm very accountable. People know where I'm at, and if there's a problem, they know how to find me.
Excellent. And, you know, in talking about some of the things that have changed over the years, you know, the internet is obviously something that's developed in the last 32 years. How has that affected the business that you do?
Well, when it first came out and people wanted to kind of dabble in it and play around with it, you know, it had a little bit of an effect. We didn't know where it was going to go from there. But now we sort of embrace it. We love it. There's great knowledge, great information. People have learned that booking travel, especially big trips on the internet, can be a disaster. And we have a lot of disasters that have occurred where people have come back. And the same with the business people. They don't want to spend hours booking their travel, so they come to us now. And so it's kind of gone full circle. So we knew what it was back then, but we love it now.
So people try to book their own trips and then realize that they've created a disaster, and then they come to you and say, please help me fix this.
Please help.
Yeah.
Yes, I could go on and on, a lot of stories about that.
I suppose. So talk to us about some of the types of travel arrangements that you provide through Middleton Travel.
So we are still sort of the brick and mortar agency where we do the basic. We have a wonderful corporate department that we've established back maybe 25 years ago, and all they do is business travel. We have a very experienced, as I said, vacation department. They do everything from Mexico, Caribbean, cruises, and then also a lot of customized travel for the individual. Let's say you're going to Europe and you want to go to 3 different countries. We also have a group department that focuses on incentive travel and different types of groups. And then we have our girls getaway department, which is a whole nother segment of the business.
Yeah, and I was going to mention the girls' getaway aspect. This is a very popular thing, and Middleton Travel, I think, is really well known for that. Talk to us about some of the success that you know, girls' getaway trips have had.
Well, we started this back in 2001 as an opportunity for women to travel together that may not be comfortable traveling alone. So as a group, we go. They have the ability to, I escort most of the groups, and we do about 10 a year, between 8 and 10 a year. This year we're doing 2 international. But we have had over 1,200 women participate in our Girls Getaway program, and it's great. It ranges from ages probably 12 all the way up to 85. And so it doesn't matter who we have, and they don't know each other necessarily. They might bring their friend, their mom, their granddaughter, whatever it might be. And so it's really a wonderful opportunity for women to be able to get out and enjoy travel, but know that they have somebody there just kind of overseeing in case there is a problem. And we've had all kinds of issues. You know, Rome went on strike, and this had this, that, and the next thing. So then I'm there with my assistant to be able to help everybody get everything all taken care of and have no worries. So it's really been very rewarding to me to be able to have women that ordinarily would never have taken the the plunge, so to speak, to travel by themselves, and now they are good to go. So.
And it sounds like it's a good opportunity for them to make friends as well.
Yes.
During the trip,
They've become, several people have become great friends over the years, and now they're roommates and do other things together.
Absolutely. Mary Miller, President and CEO of Middleton Travel, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Don't go away. When we come back, we'll be talking with the general manager of Hopcat, a brand new restaurant opening here in Madison. It's Talk of the Town on CW57. All right, nice job. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. My next guest is Rick Smith, who is the general manager of the new restaurant that will be opening up on West Gorham Street, Hopcat. Rick, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, good to have you here. So you guys are not open yet. You're having a grand opening event coming up this summer. Can you tell us a little bit about that and when it is?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be opening July 11th. We're a restaurant and beer bar, so we're going to have 130 beers on tap, 80 of which are going to be from Wisconsin. We think it's the largest craft beer event in terms of beers on draft in the state of Wisconsin that does not involve a festival.
So this is not even a festival. You're just a grand opening event and
yeah, we're just
how many? 150?
130.
130.
130, 80 are going to be from Wisconsin. We're just trying to make the best beer list that we can.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting for us to be in a new state as well. So.
Absolutely. So what makes Hopcat unique?
Well, I was talking about the craft beer. We don't do any kind of macro beers in terms of macro breweries. It's all craft beer. So we want to support craft brewers across the country, across the state of Wisconsin, across the world. Basically, with that philosophy, we have been rated one of the best beer bars in the country by beeradvocate.com, Draft Magazine, craftbeer.com, a few others as well. It's just something that we're very, very passionate about in terms of making sure that we have the best craft beer that we could get. In terms of food, we are a scratch kitchen, so we serve food all day. We make almost all of our items are in-house, whether it's fresh handmade salads or our house-battered fish and chips. One of our most popular items is our crack fries, which are beer-battered fries that are tossed in our special seasoning blend. Very, very popular. People love them. It's always a fun item, and we actually have some new items that are going on the menu just for the Madison location. So that's always exciting for us as well, too.
Very cool, very cool. I'm excited to get in there and try both food and beer, so why not? You are currently, obviously, trying to hire folks to work there. What types of jobs do you have and how can people apply?
Well, obviously, we're still in the build-out mode in terms of the restaurant, but our hiring center actually opens on Thursday the 28th. That'll run all the way until June 26th. We're going to be doing open interviews during that time, Monday through Friday from 10 to 6. So we just ask that everybody come on down, bring a resume. We are hiring both front of house and back of house positions. So servers, bartenders, line cooks, we're asking for 3 years of experience for those positions. For other positions like food runners, hosts, dishwashers, experience is preferred, but it's not required by any means. So we're interested to get people in the door and start hiring our new team here.
I'm curious, what's the atmosphere or the layout going to be like of this place? Is it going to be a pretty big place, or is it going to be more small and intimate? Tell us a little bit about that.
It's going to be a decent sized place. Okay. It's over a 10,000 square foot building.
Oh wow! Okay.
So it is a large building. By no means is it going to feel small inside. Right. It is going to be 2 floors. So our upper deck actually looks out as an all seasons deck that looks out over the Capitol Dome. So that's going to be a very, very interesting space. And then obviously downstairs is the main dining area where the main bar is going to be located, all those things. So it's always a very comfortable vibe inside. We love to be able to welcome everybody in, and it's just that kind of vibe where everybody's going to be able to sit down next to, you're going to have 20-somethings sitting down next to, a family with kids.
Sure.
You know, it's just that kind of place.
Sure. So it's not just a party place for the young ones.
No.
This is a family restaurant as well.
Yeah, we are a 21 and over establishment, but that does not mean that families are, we love having families in. We just want to make sure that we're serving alcohol responsibly. When you have that many beers on draft, that's something you want to be careful with. But
Absolutely.
we want to make sure that, everybody is welcome, and it's that kind of environment where we just want everybody to be able to have fun and enjoy what we're trying to bring to everybody.
So why bring this to Madison?
Well, I was just talking about the overall vibe of the restaurant and how it feels, and we feel like Madison represents and has that same kind of vibe, that same comfort level, the same amount of diversity within the city that we want to see within our building. We love the location that we were able to find, on State and Gorham, between the university and between the Capitol building. It just is it's a great location for us, and Madison just feels like the right kind of vibe based on what we do.
Really quickly before we go, I'm wondering if you can tell us about your sustainability program.
Sustainability. It's something that we are very, very passionate about. We do this at all of our locations, and it's something that we've gotten progressively better at over the years. We've been able to eliminate our waste down to 10%. So 90% of our waste that we generate actually gets either recycled or composted, with only 10% going to landfills. So it's something that we work very hard at creating these programs in some places where they don't exist, or jumping in with places that already have it. So it's something that we have to do on an everyday basis to make sure that we're executing it the best way we can.
My guest, Rick Smith, the general manager. He will be the general manager of Hopcat in Madison over on Gorham Street. Thank you so much for joining us today,
Thank you.
Rick.
Thank you for having me.
Don't go away. When we come back, we'll be talking with Connie from Brodt. She's going to talk to us about where did Brodt go? It's Talk of the Town on CW 57. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. If you have lived on the west side of Madison for a number of years now, you'll be familiar with the guest from our next business, Brodt Music. I'm joined now by Connie Smith, who is the general manager and VP for Brodt Music Company. Welcome, Connie.
Thank you.
So you're no longer on the West Beltline.
No,
where did you
we
go?
aren't.
Tell us where you moved.
We moved to Fitchburg.
You moved to Fitchburg, and what was the reason for the move?
The reason for the move is that we lost the lease basically on our building. So we used to rent from American TV. In 2010, they sold the building. And then we had a 5-year lease at that time, and they sold the building again and did not opt to have us stay. So we needed to find a new home.
Sure. And you have a new home now, and where is that?
It is at 5976 Executive Drive in Fitchburg.
Very cool. And why that location?
Well, we looked at several different buildings around the Madison area. Our business is more of a destination business, so we did not need that Beltline traffic that we were used to. And we wanted to grow our repair department as well as our outside road operations. And the building that we are in right now seemed to fit all the needs that we were looking for.
Excellent. And how many years have you guys been in business now?
We've been in business for 88 years.
My goodness.
And 32 of those years were on the Beltline location.
Wow. Where were you before that?
We were downtown, so we had State Street and Henry Street locations before that.
Very cool. Well, talk to viewers who, for those of you who don't know, I'm a former music teacher, but talk to the viewers who don't know what you guys do, a little bit about what it is that you do. What's the focus of your business?
Our main focus is to help school music educators and their music programs. So we do a lot of renting of musical instruments to middle school kids and all the way up through high school, and hopefully help them get into a musical career path someday in the future. Maybe become a band director, as you did.
Or just find a way to, make music a part of their lives to enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And why do you think that that your business is a worthwhile point of interest here in our local community?
There have been many studies proving that music and people who are involved in music become more, I don't know if I want to say better than others, but the education
They become more well-versed.
Yes, well-versed in their whatever they decide to do in life, if they've had some music background, especially in the younger age. So we really focus on that and want that to be a part of the community and at any age level.
And there's a lot of places now that employers that when they look at a resume, they look for people who have studied musical instruments or have studied music at a higher level, because it takes a lot of discipline and focus to do something like that. And so they know that they're going to get a hard-working individual if they hire that person.
Yes, there are a lot of skills and a lot of practice time put in, a lot of dedication.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious to know, how long have you been doing what you do over at Ward Brodt?
I've been a part of Ward Brodt for 30 years. I started as an intern there from college in 1985, and have been involved in many areas of the store, and now I'm the vice president. So
very cool, very cool. And what got you involved in what got you that internship, that first internship?
Oh, I didn't even know Ward Brodt existed. I didn't know Madison very well because I was from the northern part of the state, so I was familiar with music stores in the Eau Claire area and Minneapolis area. And there was just an ad in the paper. They needed a shipping and receiving clerk. I needed an internship, and so I wrote a letter and said that's what I would like to do and would like to stay on.
The rest, as they say, is history.
That's exactly right.
Yes. What is it that you love most about your job?
This time of the year is probably my favorite time of the year for my job, because we do go out into the schools and we help kids determine what kind of musical instrument they want to have, and just the excitement and the anxiousness of the kids and getting that first sound out of the instrument and trying to decide what they want to play for their musical career. That's probably my most favorite part of the job, is getting kids started for the first time in a musical career.
And they don't even really care if that first sound they get is any good. They're just happy to get that first sound.
They're just happy to get it.
That's great.
Yes, yes.
Well, Connie Smith from Ward Brodt Music, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Don't go away. There's more Talk of the Town coming right up. We're going to be talking with Flyght Cycle, an interesting way of getting in shape here in our Madison area. It's Talk of the Town on CW 57. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. My next guest is Kayla Pooler from Flyght. Kayla, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thanks very much for having me.
And I didn't want to give too much away about what it is that Flyght is, so I'm wondering if you can just tell us, what is Flyght?
Flyght is actually an indoor cycling studio. We're brand new to the Madison area, located on Junction Road in Middleton. We've been open since January of this year.
And so you do indoor cycling, and what makes you guys different from other indoor cycling classes?
Well, indoor cycling, along with yoga and a lot of other fitness modalities, have become really, really popular in the last couple of years. So what we wanted to do was establish that in Middleton. We felt like there was kind of a hole in the market. We have a lot of wonderful dedicated clients at our sister studio, Dragonfly Hot Yoga, and we wanted to add on for them. So Flyght is different from other studios in that we really prioritize our sense of community, so that anyone who comes in isn't intimidated or nervous about coming in like they might be when they go to sort of a big box gym.
Sure. And you talked about, making people not feel nervous or intimidated. It kind of sounds like this might be the type of thing that people who are cycling enthusiasts would be interested in. What can you tell people who maybe aren't so interested in cycling, and what can they expect when they come into Flyght?
Well, if it makes anyone feel any better, I am the director of instruction, and I'm not an outdoor cycling enthusiast. We certainly do welcome those that ride outside, but what we did when we designed the program was make it very inclusive so that anyone can come in. If you're a brand new beginner, we're going to walk you through everything you need to know about the bikes, about setting yourself up, where everything is in the studio, and what to do over the course of a class so that you're really comfortable and you can take things at your own pace. By the same token, if you're really advanced and you've been riding for a long time, you can come into the studio and we'll do the same things. We'll talk you through the bikes. We'll let you know what it is you need to do to dial up over the course of your class.
Dial up. That sounds
yeah.
really either intense or, I don't know. Dial it up.
Yeah, right? Only if you really want to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So talk to us about some of the different types of classes that you offer.
Right now we have 4 different classes on the schedule, the first of which is called Flight School. So that's our beginner class. You can come in and take Flight School. We offer it twice a month to learn about the bikes, to go at an extra slow pace so that you know everything there is to know when you come in for a regular class. You'll take time with the instructor to set your bike up and understand how the console on the bike works. And then after that, you'll ride for a little while to get a feel for what a class would be like. After you go to a flight school, you would go to either a domestic flight, which is a 45-minute ride for all levels, or you could go to an international flight, which is a 60-minute ride for all levels. And then the last one we offer is called an endurance flight. It happens once a month on Monday evenings. And instead of moving through all of your regular components, all of the different things we do in class, you ride solely for distance, so that once a month you have the opportunity to check in and see how far you've come in the time that you've been working with us.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And it sounds like there's almost a little bit of a learning curve to learning how these bikes work then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's a relationship between
Sure.
you and the bike, right? You have to get on and figure out how all the parts and pieces move and get yourself strapped in. Your feet are snapped into the pedals, and you can do that with either our cages or your own cycling shoes. And I'd say it takes a couple of classes to get a feel for it, and then after that you can really start to build on your strength and your endurance.
And I also have to say that I really like how when you make a phone call, if you guys are busy, it says all of our pilots are busy.
Yeah,
That's your answering machine.
that's true. We have a lot of
very
pilots
cool.
running around.
Very cool. How did Flight get started?
Well, Flight has a sister studio, Dragonfly Hot Yoga,
Sure.
which has been part of Madison for many years now. And the owner, Megan Ryan Kaiser, saw, again, an opportunity to open this studio in Middleton because there's not really anything like it in the area. And we wanted to offer more to our clients, right, to give them that cardiovascular workout that doesn't always come with yoga. So we wanted to expand our sense of community, really, is how Flight got started. And we began working late last year in 2014 and opened this past January.
Very cool. Tell us how we can get signed up.
All you have to do is go to flightcycle.com, that's F-L-Y-G-H-T, cycle.com, and create an account for yourself. You'll put in your name and your email, and as soon as you do that, your account will be credited with a free class. You can go into the schedule and peruse times and peruse class types. Once you've selected one, you'll open up the class. There'll be a map of the room, and you can actually choose the bike that you sit on so that when you come into the studio, you know you'll have your front row spot or your back row spot reserved for your first ride.
Kayla Pooler from Flight, thank you so much for joining us
Yeah,
today.
my pleasure. Thank you.
It was my pleasure. Yeah. That's all the time we have for Talk of the Town. We'll see you next time.